On this episode of Talking About Rock, Derrick Brumley from Conquest. Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking About Rock. I'm Rob Edwards. Here we bring you rock interviews from veteran and upcoming artists. Subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay up to date. Follow us on our social media and our website, talkingaboutrock.com. Today we have for you a modern metal band, Conquest. They are a pure breed of metal with old school influences from Dio, Metallica, Judas Priest, and Testament. Joining us today, we have Derrick Brumley, lead vocalist and guitarist for Conquest. Hello, Derrick. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us. So I got to start off by saying, so your journey started at 13. Did you think you'd be sharing the stage with some of your metal influences when you were that young?
Well, no, especially back then, it was all like a fantasy almost. And when I was a young kid at 13, it was in the developing stages of heavy metal as far as the genre itself, right? So I was kind of lucky to be there and get to see a lot of that stuff. And so no, I had no idea how it was going to go. I had no idea, about anything. I just wanted to play music. I just wanted to play hard rock.
And you went on and formed, I think, Conquest in '88 with Mike Crook, Rob Bauer, and Tim Fleetwood, correct?
Well, in '88, no, '88 would have been Tim Fleetwood, me, Tony Restivo, and a guy named Tony Priver. And then '89, you know how that goes, some shuffles. Mike came in '95. Rob came in 2012, but actually he played with me back before any of those guys, back in like '82, '83 when we were in high school. So, yeah, crazy times.
Crazy times, yeah. So we're here to talk about your latest release. You got Paradox from Dark Star Records.
Yep.
Some great tracks. I wanted to go through a couple of them here with you. So let's start out with Of the Devil's Creed. Just some smoking guitar on there. Just an outstanding track. What can you share with us about that?
So that's what I call a traditional Conquest track. That has, to me, all the elements of pure heavy metal. Obviously, our influences shine through in a lot of areas. Very aggressive, mid-tempo at times, but then we pick up in the middle in the verses. So just all around pure heavy metal song. Mike does some phenomenal lead work in it. The drumming was just over the top. And Rob got some great bass lines. And if you notice, our music is all four instruments. The bass player is not just a low tone. And then, like, I'm a guitar player, Mike's a guitar player. We both play leads. We both interact with harmony parts, and so everybody, we create a niche, a sound with all four instruments. Nobody's a utility man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So. Exactly. Everybody has an input in the recording, exactly, in the process, actually. So yeah. So that's an awesome track. Another track I wanted to talk about is Walking Dead. It's really kind of, to me, it was reminiscent of early Priest.
Sure.
Just the kind of sound that you have in that song. That's kind of what I got from it, And
I take that as a compliment for me, man. Priest for me was the reason. I mean, back in the early days when I was a kid, I knew who Sabbath was and all that. Then one day, picked up this record, putting on Beyond the Realms of Death, and it was over. And everything that followed on that record was just took me in a whole new way. And so, for me, Priest is everything. So thank you for that compliment.
Yeah. Definitely. When I heard that, I definitely got that sense, like I was saying, early Priest. And they definitely set the standard back in the early '80s for metal when they came out.
Without a doubt.
For sure, And then you heard those screeches from Rob Halford, and you're like, oh my God, how is this guy doing this stuff?
How's he hitting these notes, right?
I know,
right? When I was a kid, man, I couldn't wait to try to do that later on in life. And even though I really wasn't a singer when I started, I was a guitar player at heart. But then when I decided to become a singer, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to give it its all. I'm not going to be a utility singer. You know what I mean? The guys that just get by.
Right.
That approach.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So another track I want to talk to you about, and we're going to play here and check out in a second, which I thought was a really outstanding track. It's kind of a blend to me of kind of Poison and Bon Jovi. Last Goodbye. I thought was a really heartfelt track. And it seems
I tell the guys that. That's funny.
Yeah, and because they had this was like the early time with like the power ballads type of a thing. So it's almost got that type of feel, but it's a little bit gentler than that. You know what I mean? So, but obviously a lot of feeling in that. I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about that, and maybe.
Sure. So that song was written about my father's passing, and didn't know if it was going to be on a Conquest record or not. I just wrote it, just something I wanted to do in honor of my dad. And I went after an old school because my dad loved the Motleys and the Great Whites and those bands, and like he called out the Poison and the Bon Jovis. He loved that stuff. He, not I like some of it, but it wasn't my main, niche. But
right, if you were a metalhead back in the day, you really couldn't say you liked Poison or Bon Jovi.
Right.
You couldn't say that.
Bad idea.
You were like Priest, and you liked Maiden, you liked Sabbath. You couldn't say that. Nowadays, it's okay. But back then,
back then you always want no. That's my girlfriend. She's listening to that.
Right. That's not my Bon Jovi tape. That's not my Poison tape. Yeah, you couldn't say that. They're like, oh, they're glam, man. They're not real music.
Totally. But that song was written about my dad's passing and his take on life. So for me, it's a very, very meaningful track. And I don't care so when I write music, I don't care. I don't go, we're a thrash band and we're going to do this. So, I write what comes out. That's what we do.
Yeah. I thought it was outstanding and I really liked it. So I'm going to take a quick break here and we'll just play the song in the video for Last Goodbye. And we'll be right back here with Derrick on Talking About Rock.
Best that I can be, at peace I am, my soul to be set free. I see my life before my eyes. The doctor called, said it's time. Now we say our goodbye. Hold me close, don't you cry. Keep the faith as I die. This is my last goodbye. Close my eyes, start to feel the fade away. Gaze of time, dressed in musical rhythm and rhyme. I hear the angel call my name. Dancing life at the gate. Now we say our goodbye. Hold me close, don't you cry. Keep the faith as I die. This is my last goodbye. Last goodbye. Ooh, last goodbye. goodbye. My pain in life disappears with all my sin. My faith in God, He welcomes you with open arms. Amazing grace shining down. Rainy dreams, dancing clowns, and all my memories. Now we say our goodbye. Hold me close, don't you cry. Keep the faith as I die. This is my last goodbye. Last goodbye. Ooh, last goodbye. Tribulations of my life, I see my faults and reasons why. I come to you with all my pride. The glory of life has passed me by, but I can see the light. Last goodbye. Last goodbye. Last breath of life.
Okay, we're back here on Talking About Rock with Derrick Brumley from Conquest. Just checking out some of the tracks from Paradox in the video for Last Goodbye. Just like I said, a great track. I really dug it. One thing on here that was unexpected to me when I started going through, I've been listening to the album for the last couple of days, and
Cool.
you're doing a Ronnie James Dio cover,
Yeah.
which a great tribute to another master of metal, right?
1000%.
Right. I mean, you couldn't have so many of the bands that we have nowadays without this man who was just amazing. And
Very influential in my, to me, when again, another record, when I put on that Rainbow record, it changed my whole world as well. I went, whoa, you know what I mean? You had such a powerful vocal over some very, very melodic guitar work, just great music.
Yeah, he definitely changed the game. Obviously for Sabbath, for sure.
Without doubt.
Brought them back from the dead, pretty much. I remember that time when everybody was like, "They're done. What's going to happen?" You know what I mean?
Right.
They were putting out subpar stuff. I'm like, what's going on here, right? And he came back and re-energized these guys, and
Just gave them a whole new fresh boot.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously we know when the Live Evils tracks started getting mixed and they started fighting about that. That was kind of the end of that. We talked to Vinny Appice a little bit about that.
I'm sure.
But yeah, another outstanding performer. Love Dio stuff. But like we were saying earlier, I mean, you've had the chance to really share the stage with some rock royalty, in our opinion. Rob Halford, Quiet Riot, Iron Maiden, Wasp, Poison, Slash's Snake Pit, Queenswhite, Great White, Yngwie Malmsteen, George Lynch, Sebastian Bach, who's making a comeback now.
Yeah, right.
Which I was hoping that might happen.
Right.
But you're never too sure with Boz what he's gonna do.
What he's gonna actually do. I know, right?
But it's kind of amazing. Can you share with us any of your memories for any of those times or those shows?
Well, I could tell you there's so many of them and so many different variations of them. And looking back at it, it's what I don't think anybody, obviously you play music for the love of music because there's not a whole lot of money in it.
Right.
So to have all those memories piled on top of each other for somebody like me, I don't consider myself a rock star by any means at all. It's more for me, it's all about music and the love of doing it. And so, here's a little story for you. So we're playing at an amphitheater in St. Louis. It was called, what was it called back then? It was called Riverport Amphitheater back then. And were playing that night. We're the opening band for, I want to say it was Rat, Warrant, and LA Guns, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. And then we're backstage and we're just in the dressing room, kind of after our set, goofing around. And the gal comes back and she runs the production there, says, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" I said, "Sure." I go, "Oh no, we did something wrong, right?"
Right. We overstepped.
Yeah, we did something wrong. We're never gonna play here again. One of those numbers. So she goes, "Hey, I noticed you guys are open tomorrow night." I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "You want to leave your gear here and open the show for Rob Halford, Queensryche, and Iron Maiden?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know what I mean? So I was like, "Well, sure, we want to do that.
Yeah.
Sure." So it was a cool rock and roll story from a lower tier band that got to do something that I never dreamed in a million years would ever happen. I've got to play a lot of cool events like that, but to play kind of a cool event with more of the 80s stuff, but then to be asked on the same very next night to get to play with what I consider legends,
Definitely.
in a heavy metal, just rocked my world. So very cool stuff. And again, I've been lucky enough to play quite a few times with Testament, another one of my favorite thrash bands. Sabotage, another one of my favorite bands I got. So getting to do those things in the past, and then still getting the opportunities in today's world, doing what we're doing as being an older band that we are in the heavy metal world. We're grateful, we're thankful, and we appreciate people like you promoting. I consider it a pure breed of heavy metal. I don't think we're a thrash band. I don't think we're a pop band. I don't think I think we got a little bit of all that wrapped up into one. And take a song like you said of the Devil's Creed, right?
Right.
King of the World, The Killing Time, and then you go over to Love Amplified. You go over to Save Me, over to Babylon America. How different of a track is that with the piano up front? So
right.
I love albums that do that. When I put on a record, I want to go left, I want to go right, I want to go up, I want to go down. If it all just goes like this, at least at my older age, it becomes boring to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think as fans, we kind of like that, to kind of see what the versatility of the artist is, what they can come out with, and what they can do. A lot of times, obviously, bands will find that one niche,
right,
that really just works for them,
right? That's all I do.
And they go with it. And sometimes, if you change that niche, a la like Judas Priest coming out with Turbo, right? When we started coming out in the keyboards and stuff, people were like, "What is this? No, you can't do this.
You can't do that." Right?
You already built your niche. You already built your fan base. That's kind of what they want. But a lot of the bands, definitely, they're able to do what you guys are doing. Definitely.
Well, I think the thing with that is that if you're established and you're selling millions of records, that particular fan base that you sold those million of records to, take AC/DC, Priest, Van Halen, those kind of bands, you got to give them that certain thing, because that's what sells them millions of records.
Right.
So they have a little harder time being diverse inside themselves. But you got a band on my level, and if you don't watch what you're doing, you become boring.
Right.
Because you don't have the marketing behind you. You don't have all that push and all that. And so you want to keep people's attention. You got to keep making that wheel shine. And to me, what makes a good record is when you can put it on and go from track 1 to track 6, and they're not all be the same song.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that gets very dull and very boring. Yeah.
Right. For me, it does. And again, a lot of people would go, "No, not me, man. I want to thrash right straight through the whole, 40, 60 minutes of it. I want it to be thrash, punch you in the face." I can appreciate that. But I promise, for me, I could go put on the brand new Testament record, the brand new, Slayer, if you would, or whatever that will be. I want to listen to about 4 or 5 songs, and I'm going to move to the next record for a little while, something else. I might come back. You know what I mean? But
right.
I'm going to jump around. So to me, when you make a record, if you can do that inside your own record without making them change your record,
right.
You're doing.
I think you're on the right track with that, for sure, especially with the short attention span that a lot of the
We
people
have
have
today.
now. Everything's like so fast, it's like this clip, that clip,
Here
this
today, gone
TikTok.
tomorrow. Boom.
Yeah, this TikTok, that TikTok, boom, it was, a million followers today, next year, who was that person,
Yeah, what? Exactly right. It's
whatever,
true.
whatever. But you got a great chemistry and a great outlook on that. I really dig the tracks. I really like the album. Yeah, Paradox from you guys, definitely really, really great stuff. I like it. So
Thank you.
what is next for you guys? I know you got some dates coming up. I was looking on your site. You got a date, I think 26th.
And so we got the 26th, we got December 7th. I don't know if they're all on the calendar yet, but I know we got December 7th, we got December 21st. And then there's some more stuff that's booked in the following year. So we put out the record. We knew it was coming out in early summer, which isn't always a good idea, but that's when it was coming. So that's what we had to do. And then we knew the festival season would destroy us and then touring around the Midwest is where we're out of. It's hard to do in the summer, not to mention prices, hotel stays, all that right now. So what we're hoping for a little bit of a change in the election here, and I'm hoping to get some gas prices down and some room. I mean, go rent a hotel, go rent 5 rooms for hotels for right now for your band. It's brutal.
Yeah. So, traveling is crazy. Hotels crazy. Yeah. If that's not built in, it's like you're not on a package with somebody else doing it or something. Yeah.
That's right. Unless you get that gig, and that's possible, but doesn't always happen. But you still got to go play. So we do 1-offs, 2-offs, where we go for 2 days, 3 days, and pop out some shows and play, and come back, that type of thing. Unless the world changes, and if it changes in our favor, then we'll probably get out there and hit, some baby runs where we're 2-week runs, kind of thing. So
very, very cool. I definitely hope to see some more days coming out from you guys. Definitely.
Thank you.
Where else can folks check you out? On your social website, or where should they check you out?
So like Chip's got, hooked me up with all you guys and that kind of stuff. So we want to thank Chip and Dark Star Records. You got great guys. I mean, Lloyd and Jeff have just been great to the band. So shout out to those. But all their websites, darkstarrecords.com. Then you go conquestmetal.com. If you go to conquestmetal.com, you can go anywhere off of that to the, you can Amazon, Spotify, you name it. It's all, we're everywhere there is to be if you're going to download it. But please do me a favor and go buy the vinyl.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so you got some variations of that too, right? I think I saw in there you have a couple different variations of vinyl.
So what it is there's 16 songs on the record, 15 original tracks, and then the one cover of the Dio Rainbow song. So that won't fit on one vinyl record. So what we did was, instead of making one fold out where it all addressed was the same, we would toss around and be kind of cool. And when you get older, you get confused. You know what I mean? So you got 2 different vinyl arts that we can make 2 different imageries, break up the songs. The second record has a few of the songs that's on the first record, but not all of them, right? So that's how you buy the vinyl. And it's cheaper, in all honesty, because if you do it the other way, the records are usually, $60. It's like, who gives $60 for, so I don't want it to be $60. I want it to be $40 to go buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The whole collaboration. You know what I mean? So
yeah, very, very cool.
That's the way that works. It's all on the CD. It's all there on that. And you can buy, if you walk into your record store, it's probably not going to be on the shelf, in your local record store, but you can walk up and ask them and they can order it and get it in.
Order on that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So definitely new album Paradox from Conquest, out now on Dark Star Records. Want to thank you, Derrick, so much for chatting with us today. Really appreciate
my pleasure,
it.
my friend.
Definitely want to thank all our sponsors too, School of Rock, North Buffalo, New York, and Unleash Music. We hope you all join us here on our next episode of Talking About Rock. Derrick, again, thank you, man.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, you guys.